What's up, guys? Jeff with JTS here, and I'm going to cover how to form new habits, because forming new habits is the primary function, or the basics that you need to do to start actually achieving and sustaining long-term results, and making things a habit are basically making them automatic, right? When you get up in the morning, you roll off the bed a certain way, you put your feet down a certain way, you probably go through the same routine, which is becoming a habit, and it's basically automatic. Now, you won't realize this until I would point it out to you. Once I point it out to you, it becomes obvious that it has now become a habit for you. When you start habits, some of us have really good habits built in, some of us also have really bad habits built in. And there is a way to fix this, and you can basically form new habits by understanding the three phases that you will have to go through and how to maximize them for the end outcome, and that's basically building that new habit. So let's say our new habit was to start working out more consistently, and that would be maybe working out 5 days a week. Okay, I have a whiteboard behind me. I'm gonna move my camera down a little bit. So, if our goal is to work out 5 times a week, let's turn this a little bit. If our goal is to work out 5 times a week, to start forming our habits, we have to go through what is a initiation phase. Okay, so. This is the first phase that we go through. So, habit formation. All right, guys, so for habit formation, the first phase that we need to go through is the initiation phase. For initiation phase, this is basically figuring out what we want to do with our new habits. So again, let's go back to the basics of 3 to 5 workouts per week. So from here, we need to figure out what the new behaviors that we need to do are to end up initiating that habit. So in the case of starting to work out 3 to 5 times a week, some new behaviors that we might need to do are possibly leaving work early. It might be packing my gym bag before I leave the house so I have it with me so I don't have to worry about heading home. It could be new behaviors such as getting in a social circle or social group that's going to keep me accountable to my end goal. A new behavior might be to park a little bit further away or from the gym or something like that. So you have to address what the new behaviors that you're going to be doing are that is going to help you with the initiation phase. From there, we then need to understand the context. We need to understand again why we're doing this, the goals that we have for this. Why are we trying to do this? And build a context around why we are doing these new behaviors. We're trying to plan these new behaviors. Okay, so again, after we have started the initiation phase, that's figuring out the new behaviors and the context outlined around what that new behavior and actions that you need to do are for the initiation phase. From there, phase 2 is the learning phase. So this is phase 2. In the learning phase, we're basically trying to repeat the behavior and still understand the same context and understand why it's associated with these new habits that we're trying to form. So again, going back to the gym, if we're trying to work out 3 to 5 times a week, another habit that we might start doing is eating healthier, right? By eating healthier, we have a context and it's also a behavior association. So with the learning phase, we're trying to repeat the actions that we do over and over and over again, and this is sometimes we're still in we're in the learning phase. So with the learning phase, it's just like math, right? We're not automatically able to do it. We have to actually think about it. We might go into our old behaviors of, let's say, when I walk up to Chipotle, I might order a burrito. However, if I know my context for my new habit, I know that instead of ordering the burrito, I have to order the salad. Now I can get all the same things inside of it, but I don't have the tortilla. So I have the initiation phase, which is the new behaviors that I need to do. I have my context outlined, From there, I'm in my learning phase, so I'm trying to repeat the behaviors as often, frequently as possible, so I learn these new behaviors, okay? So again, the new behavior might be, if I go to Chipotle, I'm trying to change my order so it's healthier and fits more in alignment with the new habit that I'm trying to create. Okay, so normally, again, I always order a burrito. That means when I first step up, I might naturally want to go say I want a burrito, but that means I need to change my context, and I'm trying to relearn that new habit. So I'm going to be changing my behavior and trying to repeatedly change that order to be a salad. Okay, so once we're in that phase of the learning, again, we're repeating our behavior, and we're trying to basically keep the same context, and we're trying to understand the context and behavior association with our end habits that we're trying to accomplish. From there, the third and final phase is phase 3, which is the stability phase. The stability phase is where most of us sit naturally inside of our daily actions. The stability phase is what we do inherently and naturally without ever thinking about it. The way we put our socks on, the order that we process information, or put on articles of clothing. It might be you park in the same place. That is a stability phased action and habit you've already associated with, and you already do naturally. So now, after we've started and we've went through our initiation phase, again, basically finding our new behaviors and putting context outlined, we've accomplished our learning phase. So we're learning the behaviors, and we're learning how the context and the behaviors go in association with each other. We're now in the stability phase. So this is where things become a little bit more natural for us. So this is, if we've built the habit, or we've built in the initiation phase and the learning phase that every night we spend 5 minutes packing our gym bags the night before, naturally it's going to become an ingrained habit that we are now participating in our stability phase. So in that phase, it's more natural to us, and the habit is now starting to become something that we are doing long term and forever. So just like if you actually think about it, what sock do you put on first? If you think about it right now, tomorrow morning when you put your socks on and then walk downstairs or walk to your kitchen, think about that again. Most likely it's the exact same foot, and you'll do the exact same thing. Let's say we're putting on our pant legs. Most likely you're always going to put on the same pant leg first, and so that again is a stability phase in the habit formation. And so now we're trying to do that with your goals. So we're working on our habits, and we're trying to maintain them forever and become natural to you, okay? And this is all also moving us to the automatic behavior. Just like I mentioned, putting on the pant leg, it's almost always going to be the same. We're trying to make the behaviors and the actions that you do natural and a forever action, okay? And so that way you don't have to think about these actions. They're now a habit, okay? So that's a little the 3 phases of habit formation. Again, it's the initiation phase, into the learning phase, into the stability phase, okay? Again, the initiation phase is just figuring out the new behaviors that you need to do, and also making the context outlined so you understand why they are applicable to your end goals and your habits. From there, we're in the learning phase, so we're just making sure that we are repeatedly doing the actions that we need to do. And in this phase, we're still learning it, so we actually have to think about it, just like early basic math. So we're thinking about it constantly. We're taking action on it in more of a manual move. So instead of it just coming automatically, we actually have to think and move ourselves towards that action and behavior in a repetitive fashion. And we're still keeping the context and the behavior in the associated. And then from there we have the stability phase. So this is where the habit becomes a forever action, and it becomes more automatic, and it becomes something that you don't think about as much. Okay, so that's a little tips, or little habit formation phases, and how to think about it and how to start building those habits for yourself.